September 4th, 2014. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 55 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting next to me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
So how have the last 2 weeks been going for us gambling-wise since our last show?
Well, the first week was okay.
First week wasn't bad at all.
Well, no, the last week was terrible. Negated the first week, basically.
Tale of two casinos. Yeah, we headed out to Harrah's Resort, Southern California, a couple Fridays back, and your wife came along with us.
Yeah, every once in a while
once in a while she comes along. And I tweeted that we were going, and one of our listeners, Ryan, tweeted back and said, "Oh, good luck. Hope you hit the fire bet."
Yeah.
And, I tweeted back and forth with him a few times. Yeah, it'd be nice to at least get 5 numbers, maybe hit something. So we're out there and playing, and sure enough, we hit 5 numbers on the fire bet.
Yeah, which was nice because I had my bet, and you had a bet, and my wife had a bet.
And your wife and this is the thing, is I have only hit the fire bet out there twice for 5 numbers, and both times it was when your wife was there.
Right.
Both times.
And she doesn't like to go, really.
Right.
She goes reluctantly, and she plays reluctantly, and she never really seems to have any fun. But...
You don't think she likes it, like standing between us and the banter that we have going back and forth?
No.
You don't think she cares for that?
No, I'm pretty certain.
It's interesting that you say that. I'm not sure I picked up on that at all.
I'm sure it drives her crazy.
But yeah, so it was nice. We hit the fire bet. And of course, we won also. I mean, that's a great thing when you hit the fire bet. You're also winning, all your other bets too, right? So,
yeah,
we had a great night.
It was a good night.
It was very
good. But the following week,
oh my gosh,
was like the exact opposite.
Yeah.
We did not have a winning roll.
I was timing. We got there at about 8:00, and at 9:45, I turned to Mike. I turned to the dealers. We did not have a winning shooter that whole time. If I had been playing the don't, making a don't pass or a don't come bet every shooter for 2 hours, I would have won on every shooter.
Yeah, not one shooter repeated enough numbers that you would have lost on the don't.
Yeah. Yeah,
and of course, then you switch to the don't.
I switched to the don't. I figure, well, one of two things is going to happen. Either it's going to continue and I'm going to have a big win, or I'm going to start to lose and then you'll start to win. And that's kind of what happened for a little while.
For one shooter, as soon as you switched, we had one good shooter, finally had a winning roll. And then you went back to the pass line, and then it was crap the rest of the night.
Yeah, so yeah, I lost. Did I lose on every single shooter? Maybe?
I think so, pretty much. The only good thing that happened that night is a guy came up to us in the middle of a roll, handed us 2 like to-go containers, like styrofoam containers.
Yeah.
Full of Jell-O.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. One of the dealers knows that we had talked about Jell-O.
Right.
So she had a friend of hers bring us 2 big old things of
just
Jell-O.
A big surprise. Just all of a sudden, this is for you. And we're like, what? And Mike ate both of them.
Yeah, I ate both Jell-Os.
Ate his and
Jell-O.
mine.
I hadn't eaten all day. So it's all water. Jell-O's all water.
Not quite.
And a little bit of horse hoof.
Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, that was the only good thing about heading out there.
Yeah, the only good thing was Jell-O that night, and the rest of the night sucked.
Oh,
my dad won, though.
Well, that's good. Yeah. I mean, that is good because usually he loses. I mean, he loses almost every time we go. Yeah, he's played slots and 3-card poker.
It's usually him losing and us winning. That was a reverse then.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of old news. This happened actually right after we posted our last episode. The Lion's Share slot machine at MGM Grand in Las Vegas finally hit the jackpot. Somebody finally hit it for the jackpot. It was a couple from New Hampshire who hit it for $2.4 million. And it's funny because we just talked about the Lion's Share on a recent episode.
Right.
But basically, this is the end of the story. I'm sure they're going to take the machine off the floor.
Oh, yeah. I heard
again.
They took it off immediately.
Yeah.
And it was in a dumpster behind the casino. It was just in a dumpster.
Yeah. And still kind of, there was a little power. It wasn't plugged in, but it was kind of running
the wheels are still kind of spinning.
That's right.
I mean, they got that thing out of there so damn fast. fast.
But I'm glad that, it was about a couple years ago that it made the mainstream media that this slot machine had been there 20 years and had never hit. Luckily, the times that I went to play it, it was before the mainstream media had gotten a hold of it. And so I never had to wait in any kind of line. Yeah. I just went up, played right away, actually was a winner overall.
A winner for the Lion's Share.
A winner for the Lion's Share machine. And that now is going to be the case unless I head out and get it out of the dumpster and install it in my own home.
You might want to, I would, seriously, they throw that thing away. I'd like to have it.
There were all sorts of rumors that whoever hit the jackpot was going to get the machine.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if that really was true or if it's even possible because every state has rules about what kind of slot machine you can own, right?
So I'm going to go with my dumpster theory.
All right.
It's in a dumpster.
All right. Well, hopefully it's still there when we were there in October. Let's make a special trip over there. Yeah.
Can we see your dumpsters? They're locked. No, sir. They're locked.
That's smart. Yeah. Locking the dumpsters in case people are looking for old slot machines because I'm sure that's where they go.
Yeah, I'm sure that's where they go.
That's right.
And then into some landfill. I'm going to get Al Gore on this.
Yeah. All right. We'll see. All right. We'll see if we can track him down. So the NFL season starts this week. What do you have to say about that?
Well, start your pools.
Yep.
I think this year I'm going to only be in 2 pools.
Mine.
Yours, and maybe we're going to do another one, you and I together.
We are?
Yeah, wasn't it that online one?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, Wizard of Vegas that we did last year.
Right.
I'm looking at you like, what are you talking about? 2 pools. Yeah, so like last year, we're going to do the one that I set up, which is just amongst friends. Yeah. And then the Wizard of Vegas, the forum there, there's a group where we have to pick 5 against the line or against the over-under. Yeah. 5 wagers every week, and then winner takes all at the end of the season.
A break for me from my usual 4 pools, but I just don't, and it's good because I don't have time.
Yeah.
To this tomfoolery.
Yeah. Well, the first game is tonight, Thursday night. Thursday night game. That's how they start the season now. So if you're going to get your pools ready, get them.
This is how much things change. I didn't look today, so I don't know what happened to the line. Mm-hmm. But we're talking right now. Wednesday night.
Yeah.
But this will be on.
I'll post this Thursday.
Mm-hmm. But it came out today that the Broncos receiver, Wes Welker, is suspended.
That's right. Yeah.
For 6 games or something like that?
I think it was 6 games.
5 or 6 games. Yeah.
Right.
So I wonder how badly that affected the line.
That's a good question.
Because he won't be playing tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you mean he's not playing tomorrow. Tomorrow it's Seattle and.
It's Sunday. He's playing. They're Sunday night. They're the Sunday night game.
Yeah, there you go.
The Broncos are the Sunday. I knew they were one of the bigger games this week. They're the Sunday night game.
Yeah.
So he's not playing Sunday night. So I wonder, what that does to the line.
Yeah, it probably does.
And people who betting, right?
Well, that's the thing. The line will, they'll probably try to move the line again as they think bettors will come in. But that's
people
a good
will
point.
probably bet against the Broncos.
That's why
Welker.
That's why you want to wait as long as you can. We talked about smart money on an old episode.
Right.
That's why you want to.
I already made my picks for your football pool on Tuesday.
Oh, you did, yeah. Right.
Submitted all my picks, and now I find out Welker's not playing.
Yeah. Well, and here, I don't want to contradict myself, but sometimes you shouldn't wait till the last minute. I think in our show, we actually talked about, you want to get, whatever.
Well, it's certain people shouldn't wait till the last minute because they forget.
Yeah. This is a good episode so far. I'm glad we're hitting all the important things. Pay attention to us, everybody. We always steer you the right way. Anyway, NFL, very excited for an NFL season and all the pools that we're going to be in and watching all the games and everything. So, hey, we got a call on our voicemail hotline. Don't forget to give us a call. Our hotline number is 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Give us a call and maybe we'll play your clip on the air. Let's have a listen.
Hi. I was wondering how you can find the TV listings that you referenced on a recent podcast. You mentioned that you had a custom program that filters TV listings for all the Vegas content, and I'd really love to know how to access that. Maybe you could share that on your next podcast with whoever's listening. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, I'm glad we got this call. The app for our podcast, it's an app that our podcast provider, or the host that hosts our podcast, they created the app for us. And so we're sort of at their mercy as far as what it does and what it looks like and what have you. But more than one listener has said, hey, I don't know where to find the bonus content,
right,
that you talk about. You say you've got bonus audio and these TV listings. Well, it's on iOS devices where it can be a little confusing. And supposedly they're going to be changing this to make it more obvious. But here's what you do. On the app, when you pull up an episode, down in the bottom right-hand corner, there is a stylized letter E inside a circle. That's what you press to get the bonus content. I guess the E stands for like extra or something like that. But I will post.
That's nice and real simple.
Yeah, I don't know why. But I will post a screenshot kind of showing where this letter E is. And that's where you touch it. That's where you get the bonus audio and you get the TV listings for our app.
Computers.
Yeah, they're the worst.
I mean, all electronic devices now suck.
It's funny you say that because I had to switch our football pool over to Yahoo this year. I used to run it myself. I wrote my own scripts and everything.
Right.
And the website that was hosting suddenly said, hey, we don't run those scripts anymore. You can't run those on our site. And I was thinking, oh no, all the people who are in the pool who are not really tech savvy,
right?
Like some of the
Most
older
of
people,
them, yeah.
they're going to, oh great, I'm going to have to get them over to Yahoo to do it. And they're going to have to get an account on Yahoo. And it's not because with mine, it was just, they went to the website, they found their name and they entered their picks, right?
Well, I didn't tell you this yet, but when we went to sign up the other night, and I'm familiar with Yahoo because other pools I'm in use that format.
Yeah.
But my daughter's in your pool.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And they wouldn't let them, even though we had to use 4 separate email addresses.
Really? You had to use separate emails?
We had to use 4 separate email addresses for each of us.
Sorry about that. See,
but so my wife, she put in but it wouldn't accept the girls. And after she was about ready to pull her hair out, trying to figure out why it would take us but not the girls, it occurred to her because she had to enter their birth dates.
Really?
And evidently, unless you're a certain age, you cannot have your own email account.
Oh, right.
Probably for safety reasons,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
So she had to go back, set up new email accounts, and use her birthday and her name, and then put them as a sub, so they could enter too.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean,
it's quite confusing. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
I don't know how she finally figured it out.
Wow.
But.
Well, this is a good lesson for everyone. If you want your children to engage in some type of gambling, you're going to have to,
fudge things,
jump some hurdles.
Yeah. Have to
it's too bad in our society.
Yeah.
But
8 and 10-year-olds should be able to make their own football picks whenever they want.
Oh,
hey, they won last year, right?
We're bad people.
They won 6 times out of a 17.
Oh, that's supposed to make it better?
Yeah, that's it. They're
bad
better
people.
than me.
No. But anyway, thanks for that call. Again, I'll post a screenshot of how to find the bonus material on our webpage. And speaking of our TV listings, I ran the TV listings today, the script that I run, and I will mention this since it seemed like a pretty significant TV event for gamblers. On Wednesday, September 10th at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time on Discovery, on the Discovery Channel, they're going to have 3 new hour-long shows related to gambling. First, it's a show called Hustling the House, and I'm just reading the description here. It says, a look at what it's like to be a world-class gambler, the best way to get rich at the casino. So you and I should probably watch that.
We should probably watch that. It won't do us any good.
No.
Because we're like the kiss of death.
Yeah. The next show is called Casino Secrets. Again, reading here, insiders reveal the true odds of casino games and the high-tech secrets that cheaters employ to win.
Now that we should watch.
Yeah, we might do better doing something like that.
We might be better cheating.
Yeah. And then the final show, Poker Underground, although some sources said it was going to be called Underground Poker. But anyway, it says poker players Phil Locke and Antonio Esfandiari search for high-stakes underground games in New Orleans.
That sounds scary.
Yeah, it's a little scary because it's New Orleans and, there might be voodoo or something involved.
Well, and would you want to play in a illegal underground high-stakes poker game?
No. Maybe if I were Phil Locke or Antonio Esfandiari and there were cameras, I might feel a little more comfortable.
But still, even them, I'd be afraid of getting, like they win and the guy just pulls out a gun and,
All right, well, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe that's how the show goes.
Maybe that's how it ends. About 10 minutes left in the show, it turns out they're both dead. Yeah, and they had to sign beforehand a non-disclosure, the families and everything. So that's why we don't know.
They had to shoot them. They had to shoot all the cameramen, the whole crew, the producers.
All right. Anyway, that is Wednesday night, 8:00. Wednesday, September 10th, 8:00 on the Discovery Channel.
I look forward to this.
Yeah. Hey, we want to thank everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link at the top of the page. That way, when you make a purchase, we get a little kickback that helps cover the costs of hosting the show, and it doesn't cost you a thing. You'll pay the same price just like normal. And I'll tell you, we really appreciate the people who've been clicking through. It's been great. It's been helping us almost get to the point where we're a self-sustainable podcast. So I think we're pretty close. So we really appreciate you clicking through. It means a lot to us.
Thank you.
We got an email from a listener, David, who lives up in Canada. We had asked him a while back, hey, what are some of the differences between Canadian casinos and American casinos? And so he sent us a list of some of the differences. He lives in Ontario, and he says that the rules and the way the casinos are may be different depending on which province in Canada the casino is in. But he was telling us what some of the differences were between Ontario casinos and some of the the American casinos. Number one, he said that they have tax-free jackpots and lottery winnings. In contrast, U.S. federal government takes 30% of any win of $1,200 or more. Plus, the state can also take a small percent. So that's nice.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's why Burger King left. Or was it Burger King?
Burger King is merging with Tim Horton?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And they went to Canada.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Number two, he says the casinos have, this is in the Canadian casinos, they have controlled entrances and exits with security guards checking ID.
Yeah, I like that.
I do too, yeah.
I like for safety reasons, because if you win some money, they know everyone who comes in and goes out.
Yeah, that is kind of nice. I'm sure there's some people here who would hate that.
Yeah. Oh,
and I don't blame some of the advantage players that might not like to have to show ID even to just get into the place. And,
right.
And I understand that. But
I think overall, that's a good rule for society.
Yeah. No free alcoholic drinks.
Yeah, I know you don't like that.
That's the way that it is here, even in California, right? Las Vegas and Atlantic City, there are free drinks. But here in California, even though, you get like complimentary beverages at the table, if it's an alcoholic beverage, you have to pay for it.
Yeah, or smuggle your own in.
Right. That's another option. You can smuggle your own alcoholic drink in. And now this is the interesting thing too, is that when it comes to comps or like total reward credits through Caesars Entertainment, here in California, those comps cannot be used towards purchasing the alcohol.
Right.
So if you're at a table, you can't say, just put it on my comps. Or even, your brother got hit by this.
Right. Yeah. He went to use his yearly meal thing that they give you. Like, what do they call it? Celebration meal or whatever.
Yeah.
So he had a couple $100 of meal credits.
Right.
And they went to the steakhouse, him and my mom and dad, and they ordered a bunch of stuff and had some drinks, and then found out that the drinks weren't covered.
Right. So he had to pay out of pocket for the drinks here.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so Canada, that's also the case. No free alcoholic drinks. No smoking in Canadian casinos. Now, I would certainly love that.
Oh, that'd be great.
I can't see that ever happening to casinos in America, and certainly Las Vegas.
It's weird that in California, now I know they say they're an Indian reservation, so they're a sovereign nation,
right?
Whatever the hell that means. Yeah. And they allow smoking. How they can get around that California law, no indoor smoking, I don't know.
I don't know. It's a casino. You can't smoke in their restaurants, can you? I don't think you can smoke in any of the restaurants at the casino.
I don't know.
I've never seen
I've never checked on that.
I've never seen anybody smoking there, so I'm just assuming. But, I can't, even Revel, which just closed here.
Right.
When they first opened, that was their, big thing was, we're going to be a non-smoking casino. And then, when that didn't work.
That really probably doesn't work on the East Coast. California, really. you actually probably probably have a better chance.
Yeah.
There's a lot fewer smokers here.
Yeah. He said they have generally good video poker. He said that there's a Casino Rama that he has not been to. They have 9 to 6 jacks or better. And he said at Caesars Windsor, 8 to 6 jacks or better, which it's not really that good. But
it's a little better than 8 to 5.
It is better than 8 to 5. He said elsewhere they have 8 to 5. He said on craps, most casinos are 5 times odds, although they also have 3, 4, 5 times odds, which is what the Strip most casinos on the Strip currently have.
It's nice that though a lot of them have straight 5 times odds.
I know. Yeah, that is nice. And then roulette, he said that there were places where you could find single zero roulette wheels in some of the high limit rooms. So after that, he said there isn't really much difference as far as the rules go of the games. At the table games, there really isn't. I imagine there aren't any rule differences.
Well, I imagine a lot of them are franchised out. Some of the carnival type games are franchised out, so the rules are probably the same.
Right.
And
so they're paying a license for
blackjack.
Yeah. Right. So anyway, good. Thanks, David, for that information about the Canadian casinos.
So it sounds like Canadian casinos are a pretty good place to play.
I guess so. Oh, he did say this was interesting. We had got an email a long time ago from another Canadian listener, and it sounded like some of the casinos in his area were not 24 hours, or some of the table games were not 24 hours, craps, started at like noon or something like that. But David in this was also saying that the casinos are 24 hours, except they do close at 12 noon on Christmas Eve.
Good.
And then open at, 6 o'clock Christmas Eve, and then open noon on Christmas Day.
Well, that's great. Actually, I like that. Seriously, because, I know not everyone celebrates Christmas. And so there are plenty of people who'd like to be in a casino. But it is kind of nice to give your employees...
It's good for the employees, exactly.
A day off.
Yeah, it's
right.
Exactly.
Even if it's just a day off. Even if they're not Christian or they don't celebrate Christmas, they at least get a time off.
Right.
And I like that.
Yeah.
I like that so nobody has to work during it.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many times I've been in a casino and I've said to Diller, like here, who people we know and we like and we consider kind of friends, as well as dealers, and I say, "Oh, what are you doing Christmas?" "Well, I'm working." And it is true. It kind of sucks for them.
Yeah, that's true. Sure.
And they can't change their shift because it's just not fair to everybody.
Well, and it's good too, right? 6 p.m. Christmas Eve to
not
noon
that long.
Christmas. That's where usually people get together with their families, right? Christmas Eve.
And that's not that long a period of time.
No, it's not. Right.
So good for Ontario. They have the best walleye fishing in the world.
Really?
And it sounds like they got the best casinos.
Okay, good. That's good news. Yeah. Well, we might have to head
as far as I'm concerned, anyway.
Right. Anyway, again, thanks, David. All right, we got another email from listener Bill. Bill he's one of our favorite listeners because he provides content for the show. So when we're struggling trying to find out, decide what we're going to talk about, Bill just sends us a bunch of questions.
Although I don't know that we're struggling so much this week. We're probably going to have more than we want.
All right. Well, anyway, Bill sent us some more questions to answer on the show. So here we go. Number 1, I understand you are used to card craps. However, is there any hope your state will change this lame rule?
Bill, it's California. Enough said. Okay?
It's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. It's California.
For new listeners, all gambling related games out here have to be either slot machine or bingo or horse racing. But if they're table games, they have to be based on cards, including craps, including roulette.
It is so hard to get anything changed in California.
Here's another reason.
Period.
Here's another reason it's not going to change. All the casinos here now that are dealing craps, they're doing it.
Right.
Right. So there's nobody who's pushing, hey, we really need this to be dice-based.
Yeah.
Right? There's nobody pushing for it.
Well, and there's really no reason to.
Yeah.
Statistically, it comes out the same.
Right. Well, at least at the places we play. Yeah. There are some casinos where it might not be statistically the same as a real craps game. But yeah, it's never going to change here.
No,
I don't think so. And he had an addendum to this question too. Any other rules in your local casino that are odd and need revision? I can't think of anything that is specific to our local casinos here that's
weird. Not specific. There's a lot of weird things about casinos in general.
Yeah,
like if you find a $500 chip on the floor, you got to give it back.
That's right.
Or if somebody leaves $1 in the slot machine, you technically can't play that dollar.
No, you're going to go to prison if you play that dollar.
Go to prison, yeah.
I mean, we've got 6 to 5 blackjack here, which of course we don't like.
Right.
And we've talked about this before. We wish that on buy bets, you only had to pay the VIG on winning bets, which is not the case here. But
those are probably the 2 bugs up our butt.
Yeah, but they're not specific to California.
No,
there are plenty of casinos that have this. So, all right, question number 2. Do you feel you would bet any less if you guys used cash instead of chips?
That's a good question. The answer is yes.
Yeah, yes for me too.
Oh, definitely. If you have to throw out real cash, if I was playing with $100 bills instead of $100 chips, even though I know I just cashed in a bunch of $100 bills, it would just freak me out. It'd be a totally different thing.
And the casino counts on that. Anybody who's been, played with casino chips know that, when you're throwing out a $25 chip, it doesn't feel like $25. It's just a chip you're playing with.
And when things are going good, the casino will always color you up to the next level.
Yep. Right.
Because they know, it's going good. If we start giving him $25 chips, he'll bet 25s.
Yeah.
If we give him hundreds, he'll bet hundreds. They do it to me all the time.
Sure.
All of a sudden they're paying me in hundreds and I want 25s because
you're making a lot more bets and what have you.
Right.
And it makes it, and when you have the
25s,
your rack looks a lot bigger.
Right. And I have to keep cashing it in. They don't want that. They want you to start putting down the hundreds.
Yeah. So there's no question that the answer is yes for both of us in that case. Number 3. What was the longest amount of time you spent gambling in one session? And I've been trying to think about this. If one session is one table, what do you think the longest is that we've ever been at one table? Maybe 6 hours?
Oh, more than that if you think about like times we played Pai Gal, like at a...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Out at Sequan or something.
In those olden days.
In the olden days, we
right.
probably like 10 hours at one Pai Gow table.
It could be 10 to 12 hours.
It could be 10 to 12 hours there. Because sometimes we literally would get out there like at 6 in the evening and not stop until 5 or 6 in the morning.
Yeah, you're right.
And then go to roll tacos.
And
then Easter morning.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Now that might not sound like a lot compared to some other stories you've heard about people playing poker for like 3 days straight, 4 days straight, that kind of thing. But again, if we're talking about a session being one table, that's probably the longest. Now, if a session was just gambling the whole time, because there have been times when we're in Vegas and we gamble, morning, noon, and night, right? I mean,
3
it's just
solid days
all the way through, right? Except that, that's not going here. Let's walk across the street to the other casino.
Right. We've stopped for momentary pauses.
Right. So, in that case, maybe a day and a half. I don't think we've ever gone 2 straight days without sleeping or anything.
Well, it's definitely over 24 hours.
Yes. Yeah. If you count one session as gambling the whole time, but moving between, tables.
Basically moving between stopping to go to the bathroom and eat. That's about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Number 4, with the understanding that life gets in the way, do you have any plans or aspirations to bring the show to another level, such as bringing it to satellite radio, writing a book, doing the show from a casino, live call-in, guests, etc.? He says, it is fine the way it is to me. I just wonder if you guys have a wish list for the show, so to speak. It's funny because, there are probably a lot of things I would like to do for the show.
A book's not one of them.
Not a book. I don't have a patience for writing a book.
No, me either.
Although I
could ghostwrite one.
Tim Dresden over at 5 Honey by Midnight, he's trying to write a book now too. In fact, head on over to his website. They've got a Kickstarter campaign going for his book to try to get that going.
That's a hard thing to do. Good luck to him if he can do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the patience.
No, I wouldn't either. But we've talked about this before. We've thought, boy, wouldn't it be great if, there's like a local radio station that would have us on for an hour once a week or something like that.
Yeah, we'd be on like Sunday mornings at 3 a.m.
Right.
From 3 to 4 a.m. Gambling talk with Mike and Mark.
Yeah, something like that. But I don't know. The thing is, we've also talked about, buying some new equipment and having guests on and what have you. But
that we probably will do at some point.
I think we will eventually do that. Right now, I'm pretty happy happy with just kind of the back and forth that we have going right here. I mean, it's something I look forward to and we have a good time. Sometimes when your aspirations get a little bigger, some of the fun kind of goes out of it, right?
Well, if it's a job.
Yeah, right.
I don't know about you, but my job's not that much fun.
Mine either.
It's just work.
It's just work, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. If we had a show that was on satellite radio that was once a week that we had to do or something like that, it might take some of the fun out of it. But I don't know. Right now, certainly we don't really have any aspirations to do anything big based on our lives, certainly with our families and our jobs.
Yeah, but if somebody were to want to pay us to like be on the radio or something.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Question number 5. If you could add 1 or 2 types of bets for craps or blackjack, what would you enjoy trying? This would be a new type of bet. Let's figure the house edge could not be over 5%. The only one that comes to mind, I've always wished the craps table has had an easy way bet so that you could bet like on the easy 6 coming up.
Well, that's just hopping the 6s.
No, it stays out there.
Oh, it stays out there.
It's not a hot bet.
It's not a hot bet. Okay, it just stays out there until 6 comes up hard.
Or a 7, right? If 6 comes up hard or 7 comes up,
so you'd have to have a 4-2 and a 5-1 to distinguish.
I guess you could. Well, okay, that's another way to do it. Have 2 different ones. Or just say, no, give me an easy 6. I don't know what it would pay, but, just anytime a 6 comes up and it's not hard and it's not 7, then you get paid.
Oh, like a place bet, maybe?
No, well, yeah, I guess that's kind of that same thing, I guess. Yeah.
Except you don't lose on the hard.
Yeah,
you're all pissed off. Oh, hard 6.
But see, it would pay better than a place bet. That's
okay,
all right. So you kind of caught me. I guess it's not that great a bet, but I've always thought about it. He asked the question.
Yeah. I can't think of any. To be honest with you, I'm not that creative or inventive.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of weird side bets you could do for.
I guess I wish there were more don't things you could do. We've talked about this. It's like, okay, give me a yo.
Right.
Well, I'd like to lay against the yo, right? I want to make a bet that the next roll won't be a yo.
Yeah, right.
Right. Here's $40. Give me $1 if yo doesn't come up. Right.
Right. That'd be about it.
2 in a row, right?
We can make those bets amongst ourselves.
Yeah, maybe I'll start doing that. I'll
bet you. We've done that before. We've sat there before. I bet you the next roll's an 8.
Yeah.
$5, the next roll's an 8, and it's not. I have to give him $5. We've done that plenty of times.
But yeah, as far as blackjack goes, I can't think of any. I mean, there's so many side bets that they already have. I can't think of anything like.
Well, there's a lot of weird. Like when they give a jackpot for 777.
Sure, right, or 777 suited if it's a multi-deck game. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. Question number 6. Where do you feel casino marketing and player development could improve? What would you guys do differently? Neither one of us is in marketing, but I'll tell you, if I ran a casino at least, I would, again, have the best rules and get the gamblers there.
Right.
And, well,
that's what keeps the casino in business.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, inevitably, it comes down to it's a casino.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a hotel.
Yeah.
It's not a club. I mean, it does have a hotel, it does have restaurants, it does have a club, but it's a casino.
Yeah.
And if you really want to make money, have good rules so you get players with money coming in to take their chances.
And that's how,
and you still don't have to give it away.
That's how I would advertise it. I'd say, hey, look, we pay 3-2 blackjack on all our games. We talked about this. I would change some of the rules. Like on craps, instead of paying 10 for 1 on a hard 6, pay 10.5 for 1.
Right.
We've talked about this. Right. I think they do it in Australia.
And you still have an edge.
You still have an edge. It's still a terrible bet, right? It's still one of those.
Right. I wonder why somebody doesn't do that.
I know.
I mean, is it a little insider, good old boys club kind of thing?
You wouldn't think so.
I won't do that if you won't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, certainly that's what I would do. I'd offer all these. I'd say, hey, our video poker table.
We're all 9 to 6s.
Yeah, we're all 9 to 6 on jacks or better. And I mean, keep an eye on that, right? I mean, it's 9 to 6 is still not 100% payback unless, the players are taking advantage of giveaways and stuff like that. But, I mean, monitor stuff like that so you're not being taken advantage of. But, oh my gosh.
It seems to me that most of the casinos now, their marketing strategies revolve around having worse games, but giving away crap.
Yeah.
Here's your blender.
Yeah.
Here's your salad bowl.
Yeah.
And they give away crap and they bring people in that way.
Yeah.
And have worse games.
I mean, maybe we're being naive because I wouldn't be saying, get a free buffet when you sign up. I'd say get, $100 free play when you sign up. Right.
Right.
So I don't know.
But, then again, we're not marketing and I'm sure they study all this and, figure it all out down to the penny.
Yeah. All right. Question number 7. If you had to make a movie or TV show centered around a casino/hotel, what would be your storyline? I don't think I'd do a TV show, but if it were a movie, I think I would have the movie be about cheaters and the guys at the casino trying to stop them.
So something like Ocean's 11.
Something like that. Yeah. But I mean, not quite as. I mean, Ocean's 11 is kind of fun and almost a comedy, that kind of thing. I guess I'd try to make it more real about not big groups of, guys in tuxedos doing these outrageously fascinating things, but instead, the guy who's trying to rig the slot machine or, the guy who's marking the cards or something like that. Right. To me, that would be interesting anyway.
Yeah, you could have a pretty good movie about somebody or a group of guys who figure out a way to mark cards and then cheat at casino and then, how what they do with the money they make and how they eventually get into trouble and get caught. I mean, you could have a pretty good movie about that. I'd be okay with that. It'd be a little too much of a drama for me.
Yeah. But again, we're not movie makers or marketing people. So
it's hard to say what we would do.
Yeah. I have a feeling if we made the movie, it'd be pretty bad.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I can almost guarantee that.
That's what I would do.
Superhero action type movies myself.
Really? So if you did yours, it would, if it revolved around a casino hotel, it'd be
like the Flash running around stealing chips. Just stealing all the chips. The dealer looks down. What happened to my rack?
All right. Number 8. Have you guys been to Atlantis? That's that casino down in the Caribbean.
Yeah, right.
If yes, please review hotel, casino, and food, etc. Now, has your brother been?
My brother's been there several times.
What does he think of it?
He likes it. The food, as far as food and the atmosphere and everything, he loved it.
Yeah.
What he didn't like is it's very high limit.
Oh, okay.
When he was there, like on a Saturday night, the cheapest blackjack table was $100.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There wasn't even a $25 table.
Yeah. Okay.
$100 was the cheapest table.
Yeah. Okay.
And, and it went up from there.
Yeah.
So his complaint was, it's not the place for a guy, looking for a $15 table or something.
I guess they figure if you're spending the money to get down there, you've got some
He's been there for his work.
Right.
And so and he stayed there for his work. We should have him on sometime and interview.
We should. We've talked about it. We should have him on
because he's been to places around the world that we haven't been.
Yeah.
So casinos and whatnot.
Right. Number 9, if you could go to a casino outside the U.S., where would you guys like to visit? I think Macau seems interesting. Yeah, Macau is where I would go just because that's like the gambling mecca now, right?
It's where
it's the new Las Vegas, yeah.
And what language do they speak there? Is it mostly English?
No, I don't know. In the casino, I'm sure there is plenty of English, but I wouldn't say that English is the
I know not among
primary
the locals.
language.
I just mean in a casino.
I'm sure there'd be plenty of English there.
Yeah.
But if you were in a poker game or something, they probably wouldn't be English only.
Right.
So,
Macau, and I think second, I'd like to go to Monaco.
Oh yeah, okay.
Sometime. I've never been there. My brother's been there. I've been to casinos in Germany.
Yeah.
And they're very different than the United States.
Yeah, you got to dress up.
You have to wear a coat and tie.
Right.
If you don't have one, you have to rent one when you go in. So you're, in your jeans with a coat and a tie.
Right.
But and the gaming is a lot different.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very open casinos. There's, a few slot machines here and a few over there.
Yeah.
And I didn't see craps there.
Craps isn't really a European game. Yeah.
It was mostly blackjack, baccarat, and slots.
Yeah. I guess I would also like to go to some of these Canadian casinos.
Yeah.
Really, just to, see what they're like. Yeah, I definitely like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's probably more realistic. I don't see myself going to Macau anytime soon.
Well, I go to Canada at least once a year, so I should really
You should make a side trip over there. Yeah, you should. Yeah.
I wonder if there's any just north of Duluth there. I'd probably have to ask.
All right,
but
we'll look.
It's Ontario.
Yeah. Question number 10. Did you ever play craps where they had 100 times odds?
Yes.
Yes. They still do at Casino Royale, although we haven't been there in a while. But in the old days of Binion's Horseshoe,
they had it regularly.
Yeah, that was 100 times odds. Yeah. And it was $1 minimum table.
Right.
And
it was great.
For a while there, you could take 100 times odds on a $1 bet.
Right. It was great. You make $1 and put $100. I won $12,000 while the people I was with were waiting in line for the steak breakfast.
That's right. You've talked about this. Yeah.
There was a big line for this steak breakfast, 99-cent steak and eggs.
Yeah.
So they're standing in line. I'm like, I'm not going to stand in line. I went to craps table, won $12,000 before they got into the restaurant.
Yeah. And you were just playing the 100 times odds. Were you making put bets? Like we talked about in the last episode?
Yeah,
okay.
I was putting them all. So
it was all put bets.
Yeah. I was coming out on the line and then putting 1 in 100.
Yeah.
And it was just a great roll.
We talked about put bets on our last episode. So if you want to take a listen to our previous episode, we explained what put bets were on the craps table. But that used to be consistent. And then, Binion, or the Horseshoe now, or Binion's it's called now. It's not the Horseshoe anymore. It's gone downhill and they don't have that anymore. The only place I know of, at least in Las Vegas area, that has 100 times odds is Casino Royale. And I believe you have to make a minimum $5 bet to take the 100 times odds. I think
still not bad because you can bet 5 and 100 behind it. Right?
Yeah, you can still do that. Yeah.
Right.
And I think if you bet less than that, because I think they have $3 tables, you can take 20 times odds, which is still way higher than anything else on the strip. So yeah,
I wish Binion was still alive.
Yeah, sure. Well,
I mean, there was a guy who knew how to run a casino.
Yeah, he wasn't the greatest guy in the world.
No,
he killed some people.
Right,
but
he pissed some people off too.
But yeah, I agree. He certainly knew how to run a casino. Okay, and then Bill had a final bonus question. He said, "Do you sort of get annoyed when people criticize a casino when they say things like it is a license to steal and you can't ever win, and how it brings crime and despair? When you come across these people, do you or would you defend our pastime? That yes, we often break even or do well, and the fun we have. I feel if a person is not greedy and has some control, they can certainly make money."
Well, I try and avoid those kind of people.
Yeah, don't even get involved in the conversation.
I don't even get involved in conversation.
Why?
For me, a lot of times the patient will say something like that, and I don't even say I go to a casino.
Sure.
I just ignore it because people are set in their ideas, and you're not going to change people.
No.
I mean, they're worse than the state of California.
Yeah.
They're just not going to change their mind about anything.
Yeah.
And so, why even get into it? I'm just happy that I have friends and people I know who enjoy going, and as long as you don't have a terribly bad problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything, right? It's like, hey, I like to go to the bar, once a week and have some drinks with my buddies. And there's going to be people, that's all you do. You go out and drink. You spend all your money on booze.
Right.
Everybody.
And everyone has their thing. My father-in-law loved to play golf every day, and it's expensive, right?
Yeah.
And people would say, oh my God, how are you spending so much? Well, he loved to play golf. Right, that was his thing, and good, I mean, everyone has their thing. It's what we do.
It's what we do. We've said this so many times, it's what we do. All right, Bill. Well, thanks for all those questions. And if anybody else would like to send us some questions, drop us a line at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com.
Yep.
We'd love to respond. And we still have, in the hopper, a poker home game.
Yeah, it's been on our schedule for like the last 4 episodes.
if we have an episode where we don't have a lot of topics to talk about, we're going to jump into this poker home game. But it's still in the hopper, and we'll just keep it in there in case we need it. So those of you who are thinking, I want to learn a new poker game, it's coming up. Yeah, it's definitely coming up. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Be sure to download our app for your mobile device. You'll get access to all our episodes, quick links to contact us via Twitter, Facebook, email, and our voicemail hotline. And you'll get bonus audio, and I'll explain on the website how to access that bonus audio.
Okay, very good.
On the bonus audio for this episode, you tell another story about your bowling buddy Mark.
Right.
And a mishap that he had wagering.
Wagering on the NFL.
This time on the NFL.
And that's why we chose it.
Very topical.
Yep.
Good. With our app, you'll also get TV listings showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. I update those listings every Wednesday using a program I wrote myself to search through all the American TV data. The bonus audio and the TV listings are only available on our app. To download it, go to our webpage, youcanbetonThat.com. And on the left-hand side of the page, click on the link that says how to download our app. We have a link for Android devices and another one for iPhones and iPads. We love to hear from our listeners. We love it. Drop us a line at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com or call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 951-2-WAGERS. Also, follow us on Twitter at You Can Bet On That. We always tweet when we're in a casino or on our way to a casino, and we'd love to meet up with you. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. And finally, head on over to iTunes and write a review on us. When you do, it helps us get new listeners. Did I mess up?
No, I think you said everything right. I've just thought of something. I have to say this.
All right.
So Friday night, we got Jell-O.
Yes.
Right, at the table.
Yeah.
And in Sunday's paper, San Diego Tribune, I believe it was Sunday. It was either Sunday or Monday.
Okay.
There was a big article about Jell-O.
Okay.
And how Jell-O's kind of not as popular as it once was.
Okay.
And the Jell-O industry is going down.
Oh, really?
I saved the paper to take to the casino
to show
them. But Carrie, the girl who gave us the Jell-O, she doesn't like Jell-O.
No.
That's why she got a big kick out of it. But we like Jell-O. But it's funny that people don't eat Jell-O anymore.
Yeah. I wonder why.
I actually didn't read the article.
Okay, you just saw the headline.
But it was a big headline, and there's a whole article in the business section about Jell-O having to reinvent themselves.
Jell-O's interesting to me because it's a brand.
Right.
It's one of those brand names kind of like Kleenex where people refer to it
give
in
me
a generic, give me a Kleenex, give me some Jell-O, even though it might not be Jell-O brand gelatin.
Right.
And you know who's responsible for it? It's Jack Benny. Back in the early days of his radio show, Jell-O became a sponsor, was not that big a product, but of course Jack Benny was huge and so Jell-O just blew up figuratively.
Funny. Yeah. They need a new Jack Benny.
They need a new Jack Benny, Mike.
Yep.
The whole world needs a new Jack Benny, Mike.
That's the problem with the world.
That's the problem with the world today. All right, anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, thanks for listening.
Good night.